Good morning, friends. Wanda here, GNRB Farm Homestead. Hey, we're in the house for sure today. It's going to be so hot here today, about 100 degrees, they said. So I went out and did all my chores early, gave everybody good electrolytes in the water and fed them, and we'll check on them later. But we're going to be in the house, so I've got lots of pole llamas to shell. But before we get started doing that, I wanted to bring you along in the kitchen for just a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you about condensed cream of mushroom soup. Whether it's condensed cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of potato, cream of mushroom, they're all condensed. And yeah, we've been eating it for years. And boy, I think we're all waking up to, just what exactly is in our food and how well is it for us. So let's talk about what's in a can of condensed mushroom soup. Water, mushrooms, wheat flour, soybean oil. Contains 2% corn starch, salt, modified food starch, cream, whey, soy protein concentrate, yeast, natural flavor, dehydrated garlic, and lactic acid. Well, the cornstarch and the modified food starch wasn't good for me. How about you? And this is what it looks like. I just opened this last night. Use very, very little. This is the last can on my shelf. And I'm so glad, because I'm really trying hard to become more aware of what our food is becoming, and trying to do better and trying to make it better for ourselves. Doing it ourselves, growing it ourselves, making it ourselves if you can. So this will be gone, and we are going to make some from scratch today. So let's get rid of this can. So today we're going to be making cream of mushroom soup, a recipe that I got from a homesteader. She's wonderful, and I watch her channel all the time, and I learn a lot from her. One of many, but I did tweak it just a little, which you can do with your ingredients. She did say according to your preference, so I only tweaked it just a little. So you're only going to need a few items to make this, and it doesn't take long. And the purpose for me to make it today is I want to preserve it for longer time, because when you open up a can, you gotta either hurry up and use it or put it in the fridge. So I want to use it for later time when I need some. So we're going to make a batch. Actually, I'm going to probably make a couple batches, because I got 2 trays that I want to do. So we'll see what this one, and I may just have you come along with me, and we're going to make the one batch together. Then you'll know how to do it. And whether you want to just eat it fresh, or if you do have a freeze dryer, you can learn to freeze dry. We won't be freeze drying it today, but we will get it prepared, because it will have to go in the freezer to get pre-frozen, once we get it made. That cuts off the time from having to run so long when you've got it in the freeze dryer. But I'm going to show you how to do it. Whether you freeze dry it or not, you can always learn something new and make it fresh yourself. And then you know what's in it. So my, pretty much all my stuff is organic that we're going to be using. I'm going to go over those ingredients right now. And they're not hard to find. You can pretty much, if you can't go organic, you know, try to if you can. But if you can't, I understand because of the way the food prices are. But so you don't have to get a pen and paper or anything. It's not that length of a list like that's on that can. You don't need a whole lot. So, okay, so let's go down the items that we're going to use today. First off, we're going to be using homemade chicken broth. Now, if you don't can or preserve your own chicken broth, you should learn, and because it's not hard. You can have the benefit of having your own broth. It's used for many things, not just, you know, just soup. People use it when they're sick and flavorings, and this is what we're going to use it for today. So this is my homemade chicken broth, and this is what it looks like. Isn't it beautiful? It's a beautiful brown that I made from our chicken pieces. So we're going to take, this is a pint. We're not going to use all that. I may, because I am going to make a couple batches. So you definitely need some chicken broth. You're going to need some good Redmond salt. This is fine kosher salt. Redmond. Use Redmond. It's better for you. It's got more minerals and vitamins than any iodine table salt. Get away from that. You need some really good black pepper. Mine's in mason jars. Okay, so we need some ground pepper, black pepper. You need some butter or some type of fat. I'm going to use some Kerrygold fat, which is an organic pasture-raised butter. You can use, if you don't want to use butter, you can use lard, coconut oil, bacon grease, you know, whatever, bacon fat, you know, whatever you want to use. But I'm using butter to put in my pan. This is to saute, you know, and flavor in your pan. So you need a cast iron pan or a good skillet pan that doesn't stick. So you'll need that for the butter or the fat that you're going to use. So I'm going to use pure Kerrygold, and it's the best, I think. And then we're going to use, we have Azure Standard from Azure Market, organic flour. And we're going to use the unbleached, okay? And you can get that online from Azure Standard. Just any all-purpose flour, you know, is good. They have all kinds of different flours that you can get organically. They have really good flour if you can order it. If you need one from the grocery store, White Lily is a really good flour in the store. So we're going to need a few tablespoons of all-purpose flour. You will need a half a cup of whole milk or cream, or you know, whatever you have. But this is half and half, so I'm using half milk, half cream. That's why I changed it up. But either way is good. So you need a half a cup of whole milk or cream, whatever you just decide to use. And then, of course, see, it's not that hard. We're almost done. You're going to need some onion. Okay, I'm going to use red onion. You can use yellow, white, or red onion. You pick. As long as it's an onion. Good, fresh onion. Raw. And then, of course, we need a 1/4 cup of some baby Bella mushroom slices. Now these I did a few weeks ago. I took some organic baby Bella mushrooms, and these are already freeze dried. And so we're going to use some of them today. And all I should have to do is break them up in the pan a little. And we're going to saute them. So we shouldn't have to, but if you don't have any that are freeze dried, just chop them up and diced. Same way with your onion. Okay, you'll need a 1/4 cup of onion diced. So I'm just going to break these in the pan when we get ready to put those in the pan. But I will have to dice up a 1/4 cup of onion. So that is it for your ingredients. How hard was that? I think you can remember those few items. Surely not a big long list like was on that can, right? And all of it's good for you. So, in order to get started, I'm going to put the phone down. We need to get our cast iron pan. I got my area ready. I got my cast iron pan. I've got my 2 trays here. And this is what I'm going to put on the, when it's all made. I got to let it cool off some. And I'm going to pour it on those trays. And then I'll have that ready to go in the freezer later to freeze dry. And then I can just use that when I want to rehydrate my own homemade cream of mushroom soup. All I have to do is add a little bit of water and get it to the consistency that I want when I'm ready to use it. How awesome is that? So that's what we're shooting for today. So we're going to bring you along. First thing, I'm going to put the phone down. We're going to get the butter in the frying pan, in the cast iron pan, and we need 3 tablespoons of butter in the cast iron pan. So let's put the phone down and let's get busy with our cream of mushroom. And we're going to take 1 stick out. One day I'll show you on another video how we're going to make ghee out of this. Don't forget, we're going to make ghee one day. But today we need 3 tablespoons, and if you just look on your stick, each line is a tablespoon. So we're going to take this one little knife here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay. And in the frying pan it goes. And I think I'm just going to cut this one in half so it doesn't take too long to melt. And we'll just give that like so. There we go. Now we got that in halves. So let's go over to the frying pan. And let's turn our stove on. And while that is heating up and melting our butter, we will be over here getting our mushrooms and our onions ready. we need to chop up some onions. So we'll let that go ahead and get ready while we do our onion. Let me just grab a couple of paper towels, wipe my hand off so I can have one ready. So we're going to go ahead, and this is a 1/4 cup. It's a high 1/4 cup of mushrooms. Put as many as you like if you really are a good mushroom lover. So I'm just going to pour them in this other cup because I need to measure my onions. And this is my 1/4 cup measuring cup. So we're going to slice. I think I'm going to use a different knife. And I get this one. And we're going to need a 1/4 cup. We can just eyeball it. If you go a little over, it's okay. Okay, let's see where we are. And I just stack these on top and start chopping. Okay? And we just get it in a small pieces. Because all we're going to do is saute them for about 3 to 5 minutes once the butter is melted in the cast iron. So that's all we want it to do, is to saute and get a little brown and cooked. You know, like glazed a little. Translucent. That way we know they're ready. Just be careful with your fingers with the big knife. Could be very misleading when you put your fingers there. Okay. Let's see if we have a 1/4 cup, which I'm pretty sure we do. My hands are clean. Okay, well, we're a little over, and that's fine. I can save that for the next batch. So we do have our 1/4 cup of onion. And we'll just put this to the side. In case I need to add any more, I'll have it. But this is our onion. And then I'm just going to take my whisk, being that these are already freeze dried. I'm going to put it over here. And I'm just going to take my whisk that I'll be using, and we will be breaking these mushrooms up a little. Well, I hear the pan sizzling, so that means we're close. And it's on a medium heat. Okay. And we are ready to go. So we will go over to the stove. I'm going to get my spoon, my wooden spoon, and we're going to take both of these, 1/4 cup each, and we're going to go over to the stove. and add them to the pan. And let them get good and sauteed. There we go. You'll have a lot of, you will have extra butter and, you know, but you're going to need it once it, when you start adding it to thicken it. Ooh, those onions are potent. Okay, we're just going to simmer this, saute it for like 3 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes. And let those onions get sauteed. In the meantime, we will bring over what we need. We'll measure out our broth while this is sauteing. And then we'll turn it down just a hair so it doesn't burn. That way, by the time we get the others ready, the other 3 ingredients, we should be good to go. Okay, we're going to let that saute while we prepare the other ingredients. Okay, now we will need our pepper and our salt. I'm just putting them closer to the stove so I'll have them at hand's reach when I need them to use in the pan. So we're going to take our 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, our 1/2 cup of whole milk or cream, and then the only other thing we need to measure out is I think I'm going to use this, but we need a 1/2 cup of chicken broth, okay? So you want, now, if you're using canned, of course, you'll have to, if you have any left, you'll have to put it in the refrigerator once you open up your jar. But we're going to use a 1/2 cup, so we're going to go half of this. Wow, that was sealed nice. Did you hear that big pop? There we go. We're going to go half. There we go. That right there. Okay. We will need our whisk when we take that over to the stove. But now that we have our 1/2 cup of broth, our whisk, now we can go over to the stove and finish with these few little items. Okay. Okay, let's check our sauteing. Yeah, they're getting nice. Yeah. Now this comes the fun part. We're halfway done making this already. Smells really good. You can smell those mushrooms. Now, once we add in, we're getting ready to add in our 3 tablespoons of flour to the mixture of our sauteed onions and mushrooms. We will stir that in until it becomes, and it'll become like a paste. That'll be what you're looking for. So we're going to add in our 3 tablespoons of flour, and it will get thick, and that's what that extra butter was for. Okay. It'll come thick and pasty. And then once that gets well coated, okay, you'll want to add in your you can now add in your chicken broth, 1/2 cup. Okay, we're going to turn that back a little, your stove, because cast iron stays hot pretty good. And now we're just going to continue to mix this. And let it become a little more thick. Now it will thicken. Now your milk will be your deciding factor as far as how thick you want your cream of mushroom to be. You want to just keep stirring until this becomes nice and thick and pasty. Try and break it up, because if it's kind of clumpy, okay, you can put it on a low now because it's almost done. You don't want it to get so thick where you can't move it around. That looks pretty good. It's pretty thick. But I don't want it quite that thick. So now I will start adding in, look at that. I will start adding in my milk to thin to my liking. Okay? I will do a little bit at a time. And just play with the thickness and the consistency of how you want it to be. It's pretty thick in the can. That's because they add so much other ingredients. And it will thicken the longer it's on the stove. So keep that in mind also. This is why I've turned my cast iron down to the lowest setting. To the low setting. That way it will, because the pan is still very hot. And I think we can use just some more. I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of the half a cup of water. I mean milk. I'll get it right. That way we can get that all well blended. I'm going to tell you, it smells amazing. This batch right here is enough. So if you wanted to make a green bean casserole, this would be enough of cream of mushroom soup as it is for 1 can that was at the grocery store. So you have plenty of cream of mushroom. Look how beautiful that looks. Now, the only thing we're going to add is a pinch of salt, because the chicken broth already has salt in it from when you canned it. And then we're just going to add a pinch of pepper. Maybe like half a teaspoon. Ever how much you think you like. And that, my friends, is it. And now we will just continue to stir. I'm just cleaning my spoon off. There we go. Don't forget to have your mitten ready, because you can't grab this like you would a regular pan, or you will burn your hand. So what do you think of our cream of mushroom, homemade from scratch? And I'm going to take you, and we're going to go ahead and put it on the tray soon. And while that is doing it, we'll be making another. And but this is all you need to make homemade cream of mushroom. You would do the same steps, except replace the mushrooms with celery if you're making cream of celery, potato if you're making cream of potato, chicken, little chicken pieces if you're getting ready, add that. So it just depends. So you just replace the meat substitute for the flavoring of your cream of mushroom. All the rest stays the same. There we go. Look at that. I like that consistency. What do you think of our cream of mushroom? And have you made cream of mushroom soup from scratch? And wow, this is a beautiful, and I'm just going to give it a good, I'm going to take my finger That is good. I like that. Yes. So, all I need to do is to get this on there, and then I can start my next batch all over again, making another batch of cream of mushroom soup. Now, let's just to show you, this is the store-bought can. Look at that in there. Okay? And then look at that. Which one you think looks better? That one? Or this one? I think I'll go with this. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed our video today. We're going to getting this one batch on the tray so it can get cooled down so I can make another batch. And because I'm going to need 2 hands, unfortunately, to put it on the tray, on my Harvest Right tray. I'll try to snap a picture for you so you can see. And we're going to get this scraped off in here, and then we're going to make another batch. So, hey, get out, get your ingredients, and get making your own creams of soups that you need for, in your house. It's so much easier, and I was so glad I found this. And wow, what healthier way can you go without all that other junk in it? So, okay, let us know what you think. And we'll see you real soon, because I get this done. I got a lot of beans to be shelling. Well, I just wanted to show you that we had to do 2 batches per tray. So if you do that recipe and double it, it will fill one of your trays to do it if you want to do it in the freeze dryer. So we're all done, and we're just going to go ahead and put on our last divider. I think that will do great as far as dividing them up into little squares, and then that way you can use them as you need them. And they should freeze very good, very well. And that way you don't have to break it apart too much. I guess you could do it in a powder. I would just leave it in chunks. And then that way you can use it as you need it, as your thickener. But all we need to do is let it cool down just a little. And we will put our lids on like so, and then they will all both go into the freezer for tomorrow, and we'll let them get good and froze, and then we will process them in the freeze dryer for further and longer preserve storage for us. And then we won't have to run to the store to get that old condensed can of cream of soup anymore, when we have healthy, good cream soup made right here. And it only took me like 5 minutes to actually make it. So hope you were inspired, and I hope you'll give it a try, whether you preserve it in a freeze form or you just want to try it just for fresh. Try healthy, and hey, we'll see you next time making out something new on the homestead. God bless.